Let me get my PNG fella up here. Actually, you know what? No, let's use the other one. Hold on, let's use the other one. Just for fun. Just because I want to. Let's see here. Don't mind me, chat. Just getting started as always. This is a weird one where I have to like click a button and wait, or I have to like I have to do this and I have to wait. I can't click OK because if I do, then it doesn't actually load. I have to wait for the model detail to show up, which is retarded. But that's the way this program works. So it's like if I click it too early, then it doesn't load for some reason. And then I have to go to one of these damn things. Okay, there it is. The gamepad. Okay, because we're playing this with a gamepad, so let me move this, stretch it out because I'm not actually moving it. I love that when I click a thing and I try to drag it left and right and it doesn't, and instead, because you kind of move the mouse up and down a little bit as you go to the right or left, it makes the window taller or shorter because it's like you've hooked onto the part of the window where you resize it up and down, so you can't do anything other than resizing it up and down. And it's just like, this is one of those things where it's like somebody half-assed a thing and you're just like expected to deal with it. Like, yeah, you have to juggle like 50 chainsaws while you brush your teeth, but we thought that was an acceptable compromise. You can deal with that, right? Juggle 50 chainsaws while you're doing a thing because we couldn't be bothered to program it to do the thing normally? Like, you know, have a part of the window that says, click here to drag up and down to resize. But, anywho, let me edit this. I don't know if I've been doing this in the last couple of streams, and maybe that's why nobody's watching any of my shit. Because I'm not doing this part. Because they're not seeing what I'm doing, and it doesn't tell them, hey, he's doing this. I don't know. I never know what the fuck causes people to watch or not watch my streams. But I think I'm rolling a fat fucking 0. It said I had 3 views last time on the last video for like less than a fucking minute. And it's just like, those people were not human. They were bots. They were definitely bots. Trolling YouTube for content and just scraping it. No human being watches anything for like 30 seconds and then decides they're bored. Unless they're brand new to the stream and they're just like, oh, what's this? And then they see it and they're like, oh, this sucks. That's the only possibility for an actual human being that makes any sense to me. Is that they're just not familiar with the channel, they happen to stop by, they see something offensive or whatever, and they're just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to watch this. But that can't be. That I refuse to believe that that's what's happening. I am fully of the understanding that they are bots just scraping for content for some regurgitation scheme that they're pulling on some family, some unsuspecting mother and father, just letting their kid watch YouTube, and it's like gonna fucking somehow get their credit card information and screw them somehow. I don't know. People do some really fucked up shit on the internet. They like pretend to be people to get into some random person's account and then post horrible things about them or steal their money or do something awful. And it just, the cruelty of humankind never ceases to amaze me. Like, I read a story about prairie dogs that did horrible, horrible things to a different animal that I will not go into any detail on because it's just disgusting and horrible. But I have seen non-human animals do insane things that are just beyond belief. And still, humankind is worse. As an example, my workplace, that I will not name, has decided, as of last week, that our building is shutting down. And we are all going to move 30 miles north of where I currently am to my hometown that I used to live at. But that takes my commute specifically and goes from a 20 to 30 minute at the longest commute to a 60 minute full hour minimum commute, with that becoming exponentially longer depending on how traffic is and what kind of weather conditions there are. That's awful. And I expressed concern about a month ago that we as a company were maybe not doing so well, and I was afraid of losing my job. I still feel like my job is in jeopardy, potentially. It remains to be seen. For the time being, I am okay. But I have no idea how long this will go before I am cast out. And you know, this is like, I'm doing very well. Let's say this. I'm doing well enough that when I expressed concern about losing my job a month ago, my boss reassured me several times that he would not lose me. That I would not be thrown out because they need me. And I hate to say that I don't believe him, because I kind of don't believe him. But I mean, everyone that at the place I work knows who I am by name, and, well, okay, maybe not all of them, but most of them are familiar with me. And I do good work for all of them. Like, I do my best. I may not be the smartest, most savvy, capable IT person in the world, but I do my best work for them because they are nice people and they deserve the best that I have to give them. But I don't feel like that's going to save me in any shape or form. I feel like I am just a thread. I'm just dangling on a thread. And that's never good. That never feels good. I'm sure a lot of you know that already. You probably have been through more than I have, but I'm just really nervous about this. Like, I get to still work for my company. And they say that like it's a great thing. Like I should be very, very happy. And I'm not so sure. I, boys and girls, am not so fucking sure. I was on shaky terms with them before because of an event that took place in June, late June, we, let's say, lost some people. And it made me feel very nervous. I always get that way. Having been through so many layoffs and being fired and all this and that, everything that I've been through, I am just always nervous whenever anything like that occurs. So I maybe am a little extra sensitive to it. But my goodness. I don't know, chat. I don't know. I am so very, very uncertain about my future. Which maybe I probably shouldn't have said all of that on the stream here, but see, the good news, chat, is if I do happen to become unemployed again, that will, in fact, mean I spend more time with you guys on the stream here. Which, I'm gonna admit something to you guys, okay? I have been not really in a mood for streaming because the games I want to play are the kind of games that either A, are very performance demanding and I can't really stream them successfully because it will like be 10 frames per second video game performance, or it is a kind of game that I refuse to stream because I don't really support the company that makes the games. And I'll tell you what they are too. So I have been playing Ark Survival Ascended. And I'm going to tell you right now that even though my computer played Elden Ring with the best of them, Ark Survival Ascended is like Ark Survival Evolved in that motherfucker is like squeezing every drop of my GPU. And I mean, I've got it limited. I'm not running the GPU at full power because I can't. My power supply that I have in my PC is not powerful enough to keep the GPU running without shutting the computer down. Because it runs out of power. And it can't provide enough juice to the other components. That's how fucking insane my GPU is compared to the other things in my rig. Which isn't really that bad. I mean, it's not the highest. In fact, it's actually probably very mid at this point. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I don't think I can actually play Ark on stream for you. It would probably look like shit for you and would definitely run like shit for me. So I cannot stream that for you. And then on the other side of things, I just picked up the new Zelda game, which I'll go into some detail on this. Okay, so Nintendo has had a relatively storied history of going after people for piracy, for copyright infringement, for anything that makes them frumpy. They just... Nintendo's legal team is like the legal equivalent of a Spartacus warrior kicking somebody into a pit of, hopefully, I don't know what they kicked the dude into the pit of in the 300 Spartans movie, but Nintendo is ruthless. You might say, well, Ryan, their games would indicate they're such a family-friendly company. And yes, their games are very family-friendly. That is correct. But that has nothing to do with how they run the company itself. which is to say they run it ruthlessly with an iron fist. Like, you might think Sony and Microsoft are the more ready to sue the shit out of anyone companies, but you'd be wrong. Nintendo and Sony both have actually been way more cool about people playing, making games similar to theirs, or like being inspired by their shit and making equivalent. It's just like anything that Nintendo would get up in arms about, Sony and Microsoft are actually pretty okay with. Like, there's not a whole lot that would actually get you a visit from their legal teams. Maybe Sony a little less than Microsoft, because Microsoft is extremely chill. But, like, Nintendo, man. If you catch those fuckers' ire, you are gonna pay dearly. Like, they make the Israelis blowing the fuck up Hezbollah people over the weekend or whatever look like they're kittens. Soft, cuddly kittens in comparison. These Nintendo lawyers are some of the most vicious, bloodthirsty motherfuckers I have ever heard of in my life. They are coming at Palworld with some of the most cold, calculated evil I have ever heard. Like, they want to make sure that they can put the Palworld devs in the ground. They went out of their way to ensure that they did not have any chance of losing their battle. Because Nintendo said in the beginning, when Palworld came out, that they were looking into it. They were going to investigate Palworld. And now, about 2 or so weeks ago, at this point, maybe like a week and a half, they have come forward in saying that they are pursuing legal action for patent infringement. Patent. Not copyright. Patent. So, the thing you would think they would be suing for, the character designs looking very similar, that's not it. That's not what they're suing over. They're suing over patent infringement. AKA something that the Palworld devs are not going to be able to easily patch out of the game. We're talking a core, fundamental way of how the game works. Nintendo wants to make sure that this game does not continue. They don't want to give the developers of Palworld a chance of, oh hey, you fixed the patent, the copyright infringement, and now you're back selling games. They want to make sure these guys are dead. Fully. It's bad. It's very bad. It will take some time. They just released Palworld on the PlayStation 5 like last week. But like, Nintendo is gunning for their throats. It will take some time for the legal shit to hit the fan, but they're coming. So that's the background of why I have a huge beef with Nintendo, and I will not stream their games. That is not actually the main reason. That's just the latest one. But the main reason actually is because people had their videos demonetized and taken down, and like even in some cases the full channel taken offline at Nintendo's request. I think for Breath of the Wild mods, I think is what it was. So I will not stream anything Nintendo makes. I will not play it on my streams. because, I mean, I'm not modifying the game. I'm not telling people how to steal from Nintendo by ROM hacking or what. I don't. That's not my thing. And I wouldn't recommend doing that shit either, because even though you might be like, well, I'm just like one person pirating their game, what the hell do they care? Oh, believe me, they care. They just are they think about whether or not they can make money off of suing the fuck out of you. If they can make money off of suing the fuck out of you, they're gonna, believe me. If they know they can take you for anything more than like $10,000 awarded by the judge, they're going to sue you. Guaranteed. It's not a matter of if, but it's like but they're like the Baba Yaga. If you do something to earn their ire, you can expect a visit from them. So that's the background of why I will not stream the new Zelda game. Because I don't like what Nintendo's doing. I don't like them as a company. And I fear legal retribution even though I don't have a reason to. It's kind of the same way I feel about cops. I don't have a reason to fear them. I don't have a reason to distrust them. I just don't. I just feel like they're going to do something bad to me. So, maybe misplaced, maybe foolish, childish thoughts to have, but I feel very mature compared to a person that said that they don't want their significant other that they've been dating online to be seen by their parents because their parents fear this person might abduct their family members and take them to some cartel for like a human sacrifice or something. I'm not going to name any names, and I don't even know the names I'm talking about, these people, but that story about a person complaining about their boyfriend not listening to them, it's just like, holy fuck. How are you still involved with them? Like, that's ridiculous on so many levels. I have to keep reminding myself that there are a lot of folks out there with a reading level significantly lower than my own. And by reading level, I mean, in layman's terms, they're fucking dumb as shit compared to me. Which is a bit mean to say, but it's kind of true. And that is a little scary, but I don't know. We can't do anything. I mean, unless you plan on going on a intelligence check followed by murder spree, I don't know what you do about that. You just kind of have to live life and hope the idiots don't stupidly cause you to also somehow die. Right? You just kind of push them aside as they drool at you with no thought in their head, like a fucking zombie. You're just kind of like, get out of the way, please. You try to be as nice to them as you can, but it's just like, it's a struggle. It's a real fucking struggle. Especially when they're doing something really, really stupid that could potentially put your life in jeopardy. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, chat. Yesterday, I had some fun painting minis with some of my homies. We've been kind of getting into D&D because one of my chums girlfriend was like, we should do D&D, and I reluctantly agreed and have been sucked into it. And I don't want to tell them that I'm not really like into this, because I'm not, I don't hate it. I feel like I'm kind of there. I'm like just along for the ride. I don't feel like I'm really making much of an impact on the thing. I don't really feel like they need me to be there. But I'm there because they're my friends, and I feel like I have to be there to support them. I wish I had more involvement in what was happening. I feel like every time I go to do something, or I try to be a part of what's happening, I just kind of get shoved aside, and I just don't feel like I'm really important. But again, I'm there to support them. I'm there to make them feel like I'm being inclusive to our group. It's like, it's not my favorite thing what we're doing, but I could be doing way shittier, more boring things that I struggle through much worse, much more. I admittedly, the creative aspect, the collecting of things, like I got I got a new D20 that's big and sparkly, and I got a box to put my crap in that's fun. And we're doing costumes based on our characters for Ween this year, so I get to dress up like a dragon man, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the D&D experience itself has been kind of just okay. I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just like trying to find a way to insert myself into it so that I'm not just kind of like listening as they yap about what's happening, and I'm like actually participating in the thing. But it's like every time I try to cast a spell or do a thing, it's just like, no, you shouldn't do that. It's like, okay, I won't do it then. Like, I feel like a lot of the rules are very arbitrary and just made up, and they're just like, it's like they talk about this min-maxing stuff, and it's like, I don't care. I'm here to be here. I'm here to do whatever the fuck I feel like doing, even if it kills my character and I die and I can't participate anymore. It's like, I want to feel like I'm alive, you know? I want to feel like I'm there. Instead of just kind of sitting there waiting for them to say, okay, do initiative. Okay, now what are you doing, Ryan? Well, what do you guys fucking want me to do? Because my ideas are clearly not very good. Run in there, shoot stuff, kill things. Oh, well, that's not a good thing to do for that. That's, you don't want to do that. That'll waste your whatever, your spell slots. Like, bro, I don't fucking know what a spell slot is. I'm here to fucking roll some fucking dice already. Let's do this. Like, I'm impatient. I'm impulsive. I want something to happen. I want my presence to mean something. And I don't want to tell them that because I feel like a jerk if I do. I know I should voice my concerns in some fashion, as you always kind of want to tell people you have a problem when you have a problem. But I don't really see this as a problem. I see it as just kind of like a minor annoyance that I'm just dealing with. Compared to a story I read about female whose boyfriend is afraid her parents will think his parents will think that she's going to abduct him and take him to the cartels and like kill him or something. I don't understand. And she's like, I'm from northern state, like one of the states close to the border of fucking Canada, for Christ's sake, far away from Mexico as humanly possible. And it's like, bro, this boyfriend of yours' parents are A, stupid as shit, B, he himself doesn't sound like much of a winner. What the fuck are you doing? I didn't say anything. It's not my business. But me reading that, I'm just like, bruh, what the fuck even? It's like, here I am, I own a condo of my own, like, I own this building that I'm in. This is mine. I paid for this. Well, I'm still paying for it, but I have it. It's in my name. I own my car. I own everything that I possess. I'm not in debt. And still, for the moment, at least, I have a job. Why can't I find someone who's willing to deal with my hang-ups? Because, like, that is some seriously fucked up shit to be hung up over. And have a problem with. Like, this bro does not sound like if I were the female in this situation, I would have been like, fuck you, dude, I'm out. Like, immediately. Because I would not have I would not have the patience to put up with that shit. It's like, if you think your parents are gonna have a problem with me because I'm from, or like, maybe I feel like, since this female is from a northern state, my guess is that she is potentially of descent of the kind of folk that live in Mexico that might be considered part of a cartel. That's just my guess, because I didn't read into it any further than what I was reading. And I don't know how a person feeling that way about you, I don't understand how that was tolerable by her. Like, what the how do you put up with that? How is that not an immediate I'm out? Like, I struggle to understand the way that human beings work sometimes. Especially those of the opposite sex. Man, you ladies, I cannot figure you out at all. Clearly, as none of you will come within 10 feet of me. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. I try to be the best human being I can, but I will admit, I will be the first to admit that I'm not perfect. I have my problems. They are many. But I want to say those problems do not involve my parents being so fucking stupid as to be believing that a significant other could potentially kidnap me and send me to drug lords for some reason. Like, I'm honestly a little curious to know more about this. To be like, why do they think this? What makes them think this? Like, do they understand where this person lives? That they can't possibly be tied to a cartel, considering they don't live anywhere near Mexico? Maybe their family members are from Mexico, perhaps? Or, like, they have family history of being involved with cartels? And that's why the parents think that? I don't know. Like I said, I read a couple of lines of dialogue, and I was just like, I'm not paying any more attention to this. Because it's stupid. I almost deleted my pickaxe. I keep forgetting I don't need to actually put the item in the table. I can just select repair and then repair it where it sits. I keep forgetting that. I wish the developers would get rid of the box entirely and have it be like, the salvage thing has a box that you have to put shit in because you have to tell it which things you want to salvage. But the repair, if it's going to be done directly in the inventory, bruh, just get rid of the box. Just delete it. Kind of like how OBS has a start stream button that when you click it, it's like, bro, you haven't set up your managed stream yet. Why are you clicking me? And it's like, well, gee, I don't know. You're the first button on the screen. And, you know, when can I click start stream? Like, what conditions have to be met for that to be acceptable? Because I can't think, it's one of those things where I think it's an idiot button. I think it literally doesn't work. Which, you know, there's a shocking amount of that in the world today. Where there's just like, they just didn't think about anyone pushing the button, so they just put it there for no reason. And when you click it and it doesn't do shit, you're just like, why is this button here? What did they make this for? And I feel like the truth is that they don't even know themselves. Like, the developers are just like, well, sorry, we put a button there. And we didn't feel like taking it away because it was work to get rid of it. I'm doing a lot of complaining today, I realize. And I apologize for that slightly, but I don't know, I'm just in a mood. As you can tell, I didn't really want to stream today. I wanted to play the new Zelda game because I'm actually having a really good time with it, despite the fact that I hate Nintendo. Their games are fun. I like their games. I'm actually very much looking forward to the new Zelda I'm playing. I'm looking forward to the new Mario Party game that's coming out soon. And I have the Paper Mario remake from the Thousand Year Door from GameCube that they remade for the Switch. I have played that through at least once. But it's such a good game that I'm looking forward to playing it again. So I hate to say that about a company that behaves so poorly. But their games are great. They as a company suck ass and should not be trusted. Like, if you have a chance to work for Nintendo, don't. All the mystique, all of the, oh, I get to work for Nintendo? Bruh. They're assholes. Fuck them. You can do way better. In fact, the entire game industry is garbage. Like, I work for IT because, okay, so a little background further. And maybe I talked about this already and I don't need to and it's redundant. Point being, I started my education, well, let's say post-high school, because really high school is just bullshit. So, college. I wanted to be a game developer. I went to school for game development, which really wasn't actually. It was more generic than that. But point being is that was my focus. That was my goal. That was my direction. And as I learned more and more about the game industry, about how it's very competitive, you have to be the best of the best of the best of the fucking best to even remotely have a chance at getting in there. On top of the fact that it is the worst industry in the world for employee retention, for mismanagement causing people at the lower levels of the company to suffer horrendously. Like, if you're younger, if you are trying to figure out your way in the world, if you are about to be done with high school and you are looking at college, and you are trying to figure out what the hell to do with your life, what you want to be, I will tell you right now, do not fucking do game development unless you plan to be an indie dev, start out doing your own thing, making your own games, and making your way in the world all on your own. Because if you want to be part of a company, you're going to suffer a lot. It's going to suck ass. And I hate to say that. I really do. Because video games are fucking great. They are wonderful things that make us forget about the shitty realities of the world for a while. And that's wonderful. The things that games provide us are great. But the companies behind video games are filled with some of the most dickish people that you'll ever meet. A lot of the upper management in video game studios, mostly the bigger companies like Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, whatever, those guys are just like, I don't know, maybe this is an old reference, but Office Space, where they're, is it Office Space? I guess I don't know because I haven't really seen that movie much, but it's like, if you a slave, like a slave driver, or like someone cracking a whip, you hear the things about the people at Amazon where they can't go pee, so they pee in bottles because they can't, like, go to the bathroom. Like, yeah, Amazon's worse, way worse. I would never work for Amazon, ever. And I did, and saw it firsthand myself how bad it is. But point is, game development sucks. It's not a good career path. Unless you are planning to make your own video game, you've already been doing it, you know what you're going to make, you have an idea, and you want to make that idea real. You got passion for a game that you're just burning to make? Go for it. Do it. You might just be the next, Notch, the guy that made Minecraft. You could end up being fabulously wealthy. If you have a really cool idea that makes a lot of people really love your game, you might fucking rock and do great and have a great time. I'm going to say right now that I don't have a world-changing video game idea. I have an idea of what I would want to make if I was going to make a game, but I could not. Like, here's the example. Okay, closest approximation: Final Fantasy VII Remake, but maybe a little less eccentric Nomura stuff. Like more action. Like Devil May Cry. Think of Devil May Cry. That's the kind of game I want to make. But I there's no way. There's no way. I would be working at that shit for the rest of my life to just get a demo made. Unless I had a team of extremely skilled people behind me. And they'd have to be sold on this idea. They'd have to be like, your idea has to be, they're gonna be looking at me like, your idea better make us $1 billion bajillion, or we're gonna fucking slit your throat. Like, they wouldn't. But the idea of convincing anyone to do any work for my idea is like, I'm a 3-year-old and I'm like, I want to make infinite energy. That's how I expect them to view my pitch. Like I'm an idiot. Like I have the stupidest, most thought of by 8 million other adolescent, prepubescent teen children. Like, it's the stupidest thing. I fully and totally expect nobody to give 2.5 millifucks about my ideas. Which is maybe selling myself short, because in college, the last course that's like your defining class, the capstone course they call it, I pitched a project to our class and actually won enough people over to lead a team, well, at least start leading a team on an idea as what they called an X project, which is, you could do like, they had like existing things that they had businesses do, like they needed some CGT students to do, right? It's like, oh, make some graphics, update this, do some research, blah, 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 whatever. But you could pitch an idea to the class. And if you had enough support, and you had the support of our professor, you got the green light to go forward. And I actually had a good enough idea that it was said that we could go to a further entrepreneurship, like, competition. And, like, if we won, we would get, like, funding to make the thing real. And, like, actually start a business with it. But over the course of the class, I guess I can say that I learned that there are people in this world who just want to take somebody's great idea and fucking either take it over and control it and own it themselves, or just coast on its success and not do any actual work. The people in my group ended up being both of those. Where I had a dude that just, did the bare minimum that I asked, and really honestly didn't put his neck out for much of anything other than, like, getting his much smarter friend to help us do shit. And again, kind of like take over. And the other guy was just like, bruh, I want to be in charge. I want to lead this thing. I want to make decisions. And I mean, they still kind of considered me in charge of the group because, I mean, I had the idea. But here's the other thing that happened. Other companies like LinkedIn and Facebook and some other companies were actually starting to make similar shit. So the idea I had was, you have an app on your phone that has your resume and shit on it. And you just kind of like meet with people like at recruiting events, like, job fair. And you just kind of touch your phone up against theirs and like NFC, and they just get your profile and your resume and your shit for to peruse later. It's just like a job finding app. It's just quick and easy to parse, and you don't have to really think about it too hard. Because, like, a resume, you have to take time to read. And that's kind of still the same idea here, but, like, I was thinking a more bite-sized version of, just something smaller and more easily digestible. And, like, the recruiter can kind of thumb through the profiles that they get at the event, and then they can decide, okay, well, I'll look at this person's resume, I'll look at this person. Like, kind of how the dating apps right now are just like, you don't really know anything about them other than, like, this person likes wine and golfing and shit, and this is what they look like. And that's it. Bite size. Easily digestible. That was kind of my idea. And as I said, LinkedIn just kind of made their own version of that. Like, legitimately while we were still working through the class. So, I'm not gonna say they listened in and, like, stole my idea. But, like, that seemed like what happened. Even though there's no way they listened in and stole it and started working on it that quickly and shit it out that quickly. But, you know, it's the software development world. Who knows? My point is that the idea fell apart for multiple reasons. Mostly because the people I worked with in my group were not the kind of people I wanted to start a company with, because they were kind of dumbasses and rude. But also because the idea was not if it had actually shown any real promise and we didn't have competition forming, yeah, maybe. Like, if it had been one of those things where I founded a company and then just kind of like let it become successful and then let someone else take it over, like how Elon Musk became in charge of Tesla and PayPal because he bought his way in like a fucking loser, then yeah, I might be willing to let that happen. Because, like, my ideas are not something I'm like, oh, I'm going to change the world. I don't care. I'm having ideas because, hey, this is a cool idea. Hey, this might work. I think of things. I come up with solutions. I'm a problem solver. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at. So, yeah, I don't really care how I get to success. I just want to succeed. And again, I don't want to succeed to the point of being like a trillionaire. I don't care. I know money is not everything. That's a lesson I feel like a lot of people don't learn. Particularly rich people like Elon Musk. But I'm not having success. And maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. Which is insane to think about because we Americans work harder than any other group of people. Like, other countries have, in some cases, mandatory government-mandated 4-day work weeks. Here in America, there are people working 24/7. There are folks that never get a day off. And that should be fucking criminal. The companies doing that shit to their people should be thrown in Guantanamo Bay for committing terrorism. Because having somebody work 24/7 is some of the most cruel and unusual treatment that a human being can commit to another human. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm being dramatic. I have a tendency to be a drama queen sometimes. That's, as I said before, one of my hang-ups. I am not a perfect human. I have my own flaws. But I look at other people sometimes and I'm just like, whoa. I feel a lot better all of a sudden. Not to be rude, but sometimes it's just like, wow. So, I have to beat the boss in the forest area in order to go and start doing the boss in the water area. I don't think I actually need to go to the water area to beat that boss, because I remember last time I did this, pre 1.0, I did the forest. Alright, I did the forest, and I started doing the water thing, thinking I had to defeat the water boss to go to the desert, the new desert area. And then I was like, oh, I can just go to the desert area. I'm just going to go to the desert area. So. Okay. Okay, well, he's just telling me I need to go to the forest area. Which, yeah, okay, sure. So I guess I'll put stuff away while I wait for that ore to kind of cook. Trying to see if there's anything in here that I need to even put in this chest. It's the wood, maybe. So much crap. My chests are so unorganized. Probably not as bad as if Vinny were playing. Vinny's the kind of guy that just like throws shit into the first chest he sees and does not give two fucks about organization. Which causes him grief later when he's trying to find something and he's like, where the fuck did I put it? Like he went through Elden Ring and DLC without putting a single thing in the chest. So every weapon, every armor, every anything he picked up was all in his inventory the entire time. And for the more OCD among us, like, I'm not that bad about it. I mean, I have a little bit of it. But, like, it wasn't something that was going to drive me insane. But he did spend, like, at least a minute or two, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 minutes looking for a thing in the entire game's, like, all the weapons, all the armor sets, all the everything. It was all there. And I could not, I a few times uttered aloud to the TV, Vinny, organize your shit, mate. Which, I feel like a few times he said he was maybe going to try and get somebody to help him do it. But then he ended up beating the DLC. And it's like, well, at this point you're never going to probably touch the game again, so don't worry about it now. Because the game is over. There's no more DLC. That's what goes in here, right? Yeah. That's what I thought. So yeah, there's no point in him doing anything. I'm actually a little sad that Vinny's done, or that I guess all of us are done with the DLC for Elden Ring. That game was so freaking good. And the DLC continued to bust my balls, like the main game did at certain points. But man, if it wasn't some sick shit, like the new weapons, the new armors, some of them, and like the new the best part of the DLC for Elden Ring, in my opinion, was the environments. They were awesome. Honestly, I have a hard time picking my favorite location because they were all so good. Like, the first one might have been the one that was maybe the least exciting because it was just kind of a big giant field with like ghostly tombstones, which kind of was like sort of a lot of like the first part of the game, the main game. But like the blue area was overly saturatedly blue. And like the mountains leading up to Bale. And then the fight with Bale. Like, wow. Just wow. Maybe I guess my least favorite area was probably the Horn Scent area that's like right by the end. Because like the end is like right there. It's like above it. But yeah, like Mesmer's area, his little storehouse with all the weird skeletons and shit dangling from the ceiling. And like, I guess maybe the castle thing, Castle Ensis, wasn't that exciting considering we've been through like a million castles. But yeah, there's just so many really cool things to see. Mainly those, like the blue area was like one of my favorites because it was just like so vividly blue. And then like, what's the other? I think it's supposed to be the last area you visit before the very end. It's like a really green, lush area that's like really beautiful. Like a forest or like a jungle or something. And that it's like the DLC featured an area of every primary color. There was a red area, there was a blue area, there's yellow area, there's a green area. Like they all the colors were represented very vividly. And like that is one of the things that they are known for, is beautiful environments. One of the things I loved about Dark Souls 2, which was the first game I played in the series, was some of those areas in that game took my breath away. One of the later areas in Dark Souls 2 is like straight out of Lord of the Rings. There's like an elf lady singing in the background. And it's just a fucking trip. Now, granted, some of those areas were a little on the small side, especially compared to Elden Ring. Elden Ring was massive in comparison. But, like, those guys are known for epic vistas. Dark Souls 3, again, like, some of the backdrops are just nuts. Like, some of the most painterly, beautiful, just awe-inspiring backgrounds. And in addition to that superb eye candy, you have a fucking solid game. Like, it's not perfect. The difficulty is more based on being shitty and like torturous to the player, of like, oh hey, there's like shitty dudes that jump at you from behind stuff, and the enemies try to push you off the cliff, and there's status effects that you'll die immediately if you look at this thing for too long. Or they had a few instances of bullshit in pretty much every game they make. Like they're the gameplay person that decides how you play through the game is a sadist. And Ark has a very similar person in their dev studio that likes to torture the player. But visually, there's almost no game out there short of Zelda that makes you just look at the game in awe. Like the Souls series. And as far as I know, FromSoft is not guilty of committing war crimes. I felt like I had to say that, given how much I bashed Nintendo earlier. But yeah, I don't know. I have not heard of anything terrible from FromSoft. Now Sony, Squeenix rather, is another company that I have on my blacklist. You won't see me streaming anything of theirs, which is sad because I was streaming World of Final Fantasy, which is like a Pokemon Final Fantasy game. And I don't think I can ever go back to it now because I said that I'm not streaming Squeenix stuff. Because I tried to stream Final Fantasy VII Remake and I got copyright strikes. Even though, chat, I went into the options and I disabled copyright music for streaming. There's an option in the options menu. Disable copyrighted music. And I still got copyright strikes on my videos. Now, those are strikes. They're not like, they're not me losing my channel. They're not, hey, you're gonna get fucking sued if you keep this up. It's just, they flagged it, it got muted, I moved on. But I don't want my streams muted. They shouldn't be getting muted. Especially if I specifically go out of my way to toggle the option to say, hey, I don't want any copyrighted music happening. Because I want my stream to be completely unmuted, fully, through the entire video. So if any of it gets muted, I'm not going to be a happy camper. And that was happening. So I was a little mad. And I decided, you know what? No more Squeenix streams. But I'm being a bit harsh. I'm being a bit of if Squeenix comes to me with an apology and a promise that they won't do it again, I might consider streaming their stuff. But I am so entire, like they don't even know they're doing it. They don't even know I exist. What's happening is an automated system is flagging my videos and doing the copyright strikes. No human being is responsible for it. I'm sure of this. I'm positive. There's no way. No one would be that petty. So instead, what's happening is an algorithm is looking for music from a composer of Final Fantasy music and is auto-flagging. I'm sure of it. And it's like, well, you'd be like, well, just stay away from the copyrighted music, Ryan. Just, don't go near the shit that's bad. And it's like, Final Fantasy VII Remake is playing copyrighted music every fucking where. That's actually part of the game, is there will be random music playing from previous games in the series, and it'll be like on a radio or in a jukebox, and you can get the disc so that you can listen to it in seventh heaven on the jukebox. And it's like, that's great. That's wonderful for people who want to revel in nostalgia. But for people like myself, who don't want my stream copyright striked, that's awful. Because I have that, I have copyrighted music disabled in the fucking in the options. And it does not do it. Like, I'm sure it does get rid of something, but it does not get rid of all of it. And the copyright strikes still occurred. Now, I say strikes, plural, like there were multiple. There was only one. So, maybe I'm being extra shithead, extra petty about this in my complaint. But that one video came after I made damn fucking sure that option in the options menu was checked. The next time I play that video game, which will be somewhat soon, I'm going to double check that setting. I'm pretty sure it's on. I'm almost positive. Because I think even when I got the strike, I went back and looked to see if I had that on or off. Because it was possible that maybe I didn't. Right? Guess what? I did. I'm almost 1,000% certain that it was on for sure. And I was just getting fucked. But I'll check it again. I will do it. I will look. I will see if that shit is on or off. Maybe it turned off. And that's why I got the strike, because it was off. But I am almost certain. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty certain. Is there just one of these dickheads sell seeds for plants? Do you sell seeds by chance, my dude? No, he does not. That guy does not. Pretty sure this guy here does not either. No. He does sell these, which is good to do those bosses again if you somehow didn't do them. Or, well, you would have had to, but if you want to do them again for a drop. Like, remember last time I fucking went nuts over this thing? And was, like, trying very hard to get it back? So... But yeah, if I get an apology from Squeenix for shitting on my videos with their dumbass algorithm, then I'll consider changing my tune on that. But I want an apology. I feel like somebody owes me an apology. Because I'm giving them free advertisement. I am taking their precious game and streaming it for all to see. So that more eyeballs see it, more people potentially get interested in it, and maybe buy it. I'm doing them a service, goddammit. And the thanks I get is they take my video and say, you've committed a problem, and we're going to tell you you have to do something to your video to make it more in line with our expectations. Which I believe is not fair. I'm very confused by that, but okay, sure. Slime, can get that. Strolly Poly plate, I don't have, but I could maybe get that. Upgrade tools and weapons, stronger and more effective. Really? I don't think that was in the game before. I might do that one. I want to see what that can do. Because maybe that takes weapons that are now not very good, that don't work as well for me, and are like outdated as far as the damage output, and makes them better. That's actually something I wish that Terraria had. Because I get attached to a weapon, and then it becomes trash. And it makes me sad. Oh, I need the planks, right. Where did I put those? They're there. But yeah, speaking of Terraria, actually. Update. Big update coming. Not soon, because there's still not even a release date. So it's probably at least, I want to say at least 4 months out or more, considering there's no release date. They usually, when they give a release date, they usually maybe a month or two away. I notice a lot of the time in the game dev industry, they like to say in like a month or so this will be out. So I'm thinking probably we won't see it until at least mid next year, maybe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be fucking awesome. What do I need for this? Whoa! Holy fucking shit, that's actually amazing. Like, what do I need to do this? Oh, ancient coins. Okay. That's interesting. So now those ancient coins actually have a fucking use. Cool. Because those ancient coins piled the fuck up in my chest in pre 1.0. I had no use for them. So that's actually awesome. That's not much of an upgrade. That's like a very, very small upgrade. And that still requires Scarlet Bars, which is interesting because it's a pre-Scarlet Bar weapon. So I guess this device needs a Scarlet Bar regardless of what it is you're trying to do. It's like Scarlet Bar, Ancient Coin. Those are the things you need to have. The Ancient Coins will eventually pile up. I'm about to make some right here, selling my old equipment that I replaced. So I will not have any trouble with coins. The Scarlet Bars, well, I'm working on it. I have a lot of ore. It's just taking a really long time to cook. That's one of the things I kind of don't like about this game still, is that not only this, but also when you set up the automated farming later with the drills, the drill gets a piece of ore every minute. And I'm not really exaggerating. I think it really is close to a minute. And it's like, this is like watching paint dry. And I mean, you know, in a game like Ark, your initial furnace to cook ore into metal ingots takes probably like this. It's very slow. But then you get a better one, and it converts entire stacks of ore into metal ingots. And I don't feel like they have anything like that in this. I don't feel like there's any upgrades. I mean, maybe there were, and I just didn't have the patience to get them. But man, this is slow going. What was I wanting to do here? Oh shit, I gotta wake up for a while. Oh yeah, this thing. Scarlet bars and wool. Okay. The wool is like right here. And then these these are not easy to come by, but I have them. I just need scarlet bars. I just need a lot of scarlet bars. I need to just get like as much ore as I can fucking stand to get in one sitting and bring it. Oh shit. I don't have wool. I have fiber. Wool comes from like Moomin. Speaking of Moomin, I think I need to give him something. I don't have any crops. Let me think here, what food crops? What do we have? What is this? What is these 35? This is glow tulips. Let's make these. I have to give Moomin something. But I do hope I did not scare anyone away from like their dream to be a game developer. Here's the thing. You can do anything you want in life if you have passion, if you have drive, if you have the will to succeed. You can do anything. And that's not a cliched statement, that's literally true. Anytime if you have enough passion to do something, you will succeed. You just have to really try hard. You have to really, really focus very hard on the thing that you want and do whatever it takes to get there. But a lot of the time that means spending literal years of your life, maybe decades, or lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money to get where you want to be. And that's, in a lot of cases for people like myself, it's like that's an impossibility. Like I just don't have the money. And I'm not going to, because I need to make the money, to get the money, to have the money, to spend the money. Like it's a chicken and egg problem. I could make a lot of money being like a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the fuck it is, if I had the money to go to college to do that shit. But I don't. Could I have asked for scholarships? Could I have, done more? to get some help in that regard? Could I have told my parents I wanted to be a lawyer and had them help me get into lawyer school and become a lawyer? Sure. But the thing that stops me, the thing that stops a lot of people in life, is a lack of drive, a lack of passion. My passion is games. I love games. I'm all about them. I mean, you're watching me play it right now. I'm having a great time. But I'm passionate for playing games, not for making them. And, so is everyone else. Like, go watch anybody on Twitch. There's thousands of streamers. Probably way more entertaining than I'll ever be. But I just, the fact that there's so many people doing it already is just like, it's so intimidating. Like, there's no way I could ever compete with these big names that they have like thousands upon thousands of people watching them every day. No way I could ever compete with that. I mean, the thing about streaming that I've heard people say many times is you have to be consistent with your schedule. You have to consistently stream at a set date or time so that people come back and see your shit on the regular. And that's the only way to grow as a channel. And I think that's true. I do believe that. I think that if you're entertaining enough, you don't have to maybe do that. You could, like, stream whenever you want if you're good enough. But, as is always the case with everything in life, unless you are just wildly fucking talented at it, you will not succeed unless you have very strong discipline and very strong will to succeed at that thing. At that thing. That's the important thing to remember there, is you have to be dedicated to that thing that you're doing. And a lot of the times that means focusing on that thing so much that you lose sight of a lot of other important shit in your life. You might have to sacrifice friendships, family relationships, relationships with a significant other. You will give everything to the thing that you're trying to succeed at. And it's a lot to ask. So a lot of people like myself just give up because we don't have the drive to give that much of our lives away for something that may or may not be what we want to do. What the fuck was that? Heard like a shing noise. Like something activated. I don't know what that noise was, chat. I'm a little afraid that things might be coming to fuck me up. I'll just... Oh, there it is again. What is that? Seriously, what is that? What is that noise? I don't understand what that is. It's happening every time I go this way. think I know what it is now, chat. I think it's this guy. How do I split this into two? There's a way to do it. What is the button? Half. Why can I not do this? I did it to the other one I had. What the hell? I had a different one that I deleted and it let me. Why can I not delete this one, chat? Where's my fucking shovel? Why do I not have a shovel? I don't know why I don't have a shovel. I'm supposed to have a shovel. I don't have one. This is very weird. Let me go back for shovel. Hopefully I did not delete. I can make a new one. But I do not know why I would not have shovel. Because the shovel is important for when you need to dig up the ground. There it is. I guess I just didn't think I needed it much. Which I kind of technically don't, but... Okay, well I have a shovel now. So now I can shovel. So let's go shovel. So I want that thing gone. Why will it not go away? No, I don't want this fucking thing. I want it in the trash. Go in the goddamn trash, you stupid thing. I was able to delete the other ones. Why can I not delete this one? My solution, I think, in pre 1.0 was to put them in a chest, which is what I will do now. But why was I able to delete the other one? I already activated the thing with that. I don't need this anymore. They are no longer needed. So why is it not letting me delete it? My only thought would be that the game thinks I do need it, but I don't, though. Maybe it's a bug, perhaps. an annoying one. For certain. I love this fucking shank so much. I'm gonna upgrade this shank. I like it so much. It's short range, very short range, but it's fast. And it's fun. You know what? I don't need to get wood. I already have a chest right here. We're going to put this thing just out here in the wildy. Just in the darkness. Somewhere stupid. There we go. It is rooted. Trying to get rid of junk that I don't need. I don't even remember what the hell I was going this way for. I think I was trying to find a place to get rid of the thing that I wanted to get rid of that I am now rid of. So I think I can go back now. Oh, now I remember. Now I know what I was doing. Let's look at the map. Let's make an informed decision. I was looking for wool. Okay, so there's this guy, but he's the one I already have. There's another one that gives me wool, I think. I gotta find it. Okay, so there wasn't one there, which means I gotta go to a different one. Like that one. Well, look who's just hanging out in the middle of the thing. You're not what I need, though. You are. Okay, so I need the leash thing. This thing. I need that animal. I need the wool that it has. Whoops! How do I use this thing? Oh. Is that what I gotta do? I gotta name it? Punched in the fucking face like a jerk. I don't know. Buzz him. Why does this not work? Oh. Okay, there we go. It is working. I didn't see the red thing coming off of him. So it was like up in his grill. Moomin ate all the things. Curse you, Moomin. No, don't leave. You just stay in there. I have a thing to feed you. Eat this. And then produce me some wool, friend. I need it. I think you can get some if you kill them too, but that's cruel and unusual, and we don't need to do that. Put some stuff away, as we usually do. I'm actually gonna cook stuff with these. Oh dear, it burned through all of those fruits. Holy shit. Whoops. I accidentally put the entire stack in there. Shit. I did not mean to do that. Because now I have none. So if I fuck up and I got seeds for them, but I only have 20. I really need to find somebody that sells these. I hope there's a merchant that sells the seeds that I come across soon, because man, I'm gonna not have anything to make food with, and I'm gonna fucking just like die of food hunger. Even though I've got like 77 of these, but it's just like I am eventually gonna run out of food stuff. Oh yeah, I need wool. I keep forgetting. I was trying to get wool, but there is none. I need you to make me wool, Fuzzum. Please do this. Moomin keeps making milk, goddammit. Give me some fucking fuzz. Come on, man. I didn't even feed Moomin. And yet he's still making me shit. I'm just being impatient, probably. Make the anvil. Trying to get this, but we don't have the wool. The boat. Yes, I remember. The boat was what you need to explore the ocean area. But again, I don't need to. I can go to the desert right away and get even better shit. The key is you go to the forest first to get the red shit to make the red pick. Then you take the red pick over to the ocean area to get the purple pick. You get the purple pick, you can go to the desert and get the desert shit. And then I don't know what you do after that, because that's where I stopped. But you don't need to beat the forest boss to then go do the ocean boss to then go do the desert. You can, I believe at this point in time, just go straight to the desert. I think it is considered one of the outer biomes. I don't know if there's only 3. There might actually be another one that I can go to that's brand new that I've literally not even seen yet. But I'm not sure about that. And I don't know if there's a wiki that would tell me. So, I'm just gonna have to play it by ear. This guy in the middle here tells me to go do the forest and kill the forest boss, which I will, but I need to be prepped for this. And I feel like what I want to do is be overly prepped. Like, I'd like to get those picks that I mentioned, the red one, then the purple one, then whatever the desert one is, and farm as much desert ore as I can so that I can make the armor. And then when I've got that, that's when I plan to take on the bosses, because I'll have overly good armor. And hopefully equipment, other things like weapons and stuff. So, that's the plan. Anyway. Because, I mean, the forest boss wasn't that hard from what I remember, but if I just go try to do it right now, I'm going to get stomped. So, we won't do that. Oh yeah, we can make our shank better. Let's do that. It's one of those things where it's like the pick, where it's like you're an idiot not to do it, because it just will make things easier. It's just a fundamental aspect of the game that you're going to be exploring and killing stuff. And you need to be able to get better at both. So, oops. I'm not wanting to put that in there. What am I doing? Yes. It can go higher. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, it's, again, not much of an improvement from what it was before, but the fact that you can continue to upgrade it. Wow. But it needs Octarian bars now. That's the purple ones from the ocean area. That's crazy. So you can essentially hold on to stuff forever then. If you got like favorite shit, you can upgrade everything. Oh, that's 10 bar. Nice. Yeah, I'll do that. Shit. That's easy. I got plenty of that. Now what does it need? Just 10 bar again. 20 extra damage. Wow, that's a lot better. I think it's upping the mana cost though. But that's fine. I mean, if it's better at killing stuff, why the fuck not? Oh, now I need iron bars. I don't have many of those, but I have some. So now it needs more iron bars that I don't have. But we're doing some pretty nice damage. I wish I could have seen what it was before I fucked with it. Oh gosh, why do I have this? Throw this thing in the trash. Oh wow. Well, actually that explosion damage is pretty good. So yeah, that's worth keeping. But yeah, oof. The upgrading is pretty good. That's actually really cool. That's a feature they did not have in the base game. That's a new feature. It's a very good feature that they desperately needed. That Terraria still does not have. That I hope the next update includes that to some extent. Because they're like the Breaker Blade, perfect example. Breaker Blade in Terraria is Cloud's Buster Sword. But you get it from the Wall of Flesh, and then you enter hard mode. And in hard mode, the Breaker Blade sucks. So you basically get it, and it's immediately crap. It looks cool. And I mean, you just like fresh, like you just start hard mode, it's okay. It's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna beat any bosses with it. But it looks cool. And it, you know, you can kill the basic zombies and shit with it. But yeah. So if there's a way to upgrade the Breaker Blade in Terraria to be like actually good, I'm all for it. Because there's a lot of stuff like that. Like the vampire knives that give you health back when you hit something. Like, they're great. I still would rely on those for health regen if I needed it. But the weapon damage on those is terrible at the end. Like that, those are good till probably like, I want to say like the temple boss, like maybe Plantera or the temple boss. It's not good anymore after that. Definitely not the solar. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of okay for the lunar event, but you're not gonna want to use it for the Moon Lord because it's not gonna do enough damage. You're not gonna get enough health regen either, and you certainly would not want to do the Empress of Light in the daytime because almost nothing is good for that. I mean, yeah, again, you could min-max and make something insane with your stats, with buffs, and the correct armor and shit. But I'm just saying, if you're playing Terraria just for funsies and you use the vampire knives, you're going to have a hard time surviving past Plantera and or the Rock Golem. Because they just don't do enough damage. Which is, like I said, with the Breaker Blade. It's cool, it's fun, it's good. It just it's not good at a certain point. And I wish that they had this upgrade station in Terraria. Because this is really actually very cool. That I can up weapons. Like, I was really, like, it was going to be sad when the Shank became not good and replaced by better stuff. Stat-wise, because I like the way it attacks. I like the Shank. It makes me feel like I'm playing Castle Quest, which is an old video game. But it's low stat. It was low stats, but now we're +1, and this guy, our sticky stick, is +2. So that's nice. That's a really super good thing that they added that I was not aware of until today. So I'm looking forward to other things that are drastic improvements that I will praise them heavily for. Because yeah, man, that's fucking great. I remember the rune blade. You guys may remember it if you watched my stream where I had it. Is like a legendary sword in this game that's like you gotta kill a bunch of shit to get a really low drop chance item, and you gotta find some of the other pieces just like in dungeons, and then you can make it, and it's really cool. It looks nice, and it felt very symbolically cool. Like I put it on a plinth, one of these little pedestal dealies, when I could no longer use it. Because it got defeated by better stat weapons. And I was like, well, I can either suck ass with this cool looking thing, or I can upgrade to the less cool looking thing and do more damage. And not die as frequently. So now I'm glad I can maybe reacquire this legendary blade and actually keep using it. Oh good, we have some wool finally. Oh, I gotta, fucking damn it, I gotta water these plants. I kept wondering, I was like, why are they not growing? Because I'm a dummy, that's why. Kinda have to water these. You! No, son. No, you the fuck don't attack my plants, dickhead. That was cruel and unusual of me to do that, but I did not really want him eating my plants. I do not have many seeds. And my poor animals over here need the food. So I feel bad about doing that, but heat of the moment, defense of my plants. I will probably... I would have, if I had not been so hastily stabbing of him. What I could have done is I could have gotten the leash and leashed it and moved it out of here and then walled it off so that it couldn't get down here again, but I was like, bruh, my plants. Thankfully my cattle that I already have are not like, whoa, he just killed us. What a douche. Because, yeah, they would have, perchance stopped producing. I need them to produce. I need that wool. Bigger storage, yo. I really should sell this copper key. I don't think we need this. Gave me 5 fucking coins. It's fucking nothing. It was semi-worthless. Let's put these away. I would like to find another waypoint. Let's see if I can... Okay, I cannot fuck with this one, but how about this one down here? Can I fucking break this finally? No. I need higher mining damage. How high of mining damage are we fucking talking here? I will go get purple ore now that I have the capability. I could have gotten it before, but my pick was slow. And I was like, okay, let's go to the forest and see if my pick can get that easily, which it can. So we got the red pick. Now we're going to get the purple one. And then we could go to the desert straight away and get the ore that's there, but I may need better armor because I will probably get killed very easily. I'm already kind of taking more damage over here in the ocean place. Like, things are very easily killing me here. I have perk points to spend. Oh my god, yes I do. I really like the ambient music in this game. It's very, very nice music. I keep wanting to talk about the new Zelda game because I'm really enjoying it, but I don't think Nintendo deserves for me to praise their game in specific ways. Because again, I don't want you guys to play it. I don't want to tempt you. You'd be supporting a terrible company. Like Amazon. Amazon is a terrible company. But yet we buy shit from them all the time. Some of you probably buy shit from Temu, which is Chinese Amazon. It's very hard to not support companies that are shitty. Did I find the desert already? Is this... Even with my powered up shank, still get fucked. This is one of the reasons why I'm really wanting to get the ability to pick up those fucking waypoints. Because I need one over here. Like, really bad. Since I'm going to probably die over here a lot. Probably should focus on getting the ore I need, right? What ore is this? Is this the desert ore? It is. And I can actually mine it. Wow. I could just skip the purple shit altogether. This will take me forever though. Yeah, this would be skipping a step if I made that. Although, I don't even know if I can actually melt that shit into bars with the forge I have. I may need the next forge to do that. So I might as well get purple stuff. I think I did turn on high ore density in the world gen options, which is good. That's actually a very good thing that I did because it makes my life easier. I don't have to search for this stuff as much. I didn't want to praise Nintendo in the new Zelda game too much to like get people wanting to play it, because again I feel like they don't deserve any support from anybody since they're such a terrible company now. But I do like the new Zelda game a lot. I think it is a very unique twist on the series that makes it a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. Because like there's the last two games that came out in that same kind of style of Zelda game was well, you had like the one where you could go into the wall, Link Between Worlds I think it was. That one was good. I liked that one. I played through it. It was okay. I didn't not like it. Then Link's Awakening remake came out and is in the same exact style as the game I'm currently playing, which is the Wisdom, Echoes of Wisdom. So I was kind of expecting it to be more along the lines of Link's Awakening in that I played through it because no Zelda game is bad. There's no bad Zelda games. But it didn't light my world on fire. It was just your run-of-the-mill Zelda game, which of course it is. It's Link's Awakening. It's like very... I'm not like really old, but it's old enough that there's not anything revolutionary in it that we haven't seen in previous other Zelda games. So I was kind of expecting Echoes of Wisdom to be like, play as Zelda, use wand, still play like Zelda game, not be much different other than that you're Zelda and not Link. But like, it is functionally one of the most interesting concepts that they've done yet. And that's saying a lot because Breath of the Wild was a pretty big departure from the original formula where you're like going in a linear path from exact one dungeon to exact other dungeon in a very specific order. Like, sometimes the game gave you like two options, like go here or go there. But it never really gave you any real freedom because the progression was pretty tight and locked pretty heavily. But Breath of the Wild changed everything. Suddenly you could just go anywhere and do anything and just be wherever you wanted to be. You could follow whatever course your heart desired to reach whatever end. As long as you ended up completing the 4 main objectives, you could go wherever you pleased. And that included up walls, into trees, in the sky. Like, literally, the skybox. When you finally somehow hit a ceiling is the limit. So that was a pretty big departure for the series. And then like this new Zelda is like I said, it's very different. And it's a good different. Because again, I was not expecting much. Kind of like how Breath of the Wild, I expected it to be like Skyward Sword, where Skyward Sword was not my favorite. Skyward Sword is actually, in my very non-professional opinion, Skyward Sword is very meh. And I still think that. Funnily enough, out of all the Zelda games, I have only ever 100%ed Skyward Sword. I think maybe there's another one I've done, but Skyward Sword is one of the few Zelda games I actually did 100%. But that's because it's easy. It's so easy. They made it very, very, very easy to 100% that game. And that's good because I don't want to go back and play it. I already beat it. I'm done. I don't need to do it again. Like, there's not too many games in the series that I would really, really strongly dislike playing again. But Skyward Sword is one of those. I'm trying to think if there's another one that I would just like not play. I don't think there is one. I don't think there's any of them other than Skyward Sword. Because I would definitely play Ocarina a million more times. I think Majora's Mask might be the other one. I actually still haven't even beaten it. I have literally not beaten Majora's Mask one time. Because it's just so hard to play. Because it's such an annoying game. That time limit concept doesn't really matter too much when you get the slow down spell, but it's like the time limit is still there. It doesn't go away. They should have made it so that when you play the slow down time spell, it literally just stops. Because otherwise the time limit is still in fact there and you still can run out of time. And there's so many quests where it's time specific. If you miss the window, you have to fucking restart the whole fucking thing all over again. I hate that. If there's a very ultra specific timing window for anything in a video game, I automatically hate that. I have no patience for that crap. Just give me the means to beat it. And keep that window open forever. Or I will deduct major points. Because I just cannot stand. I cannot fucking stand timing stuff. I'm terrible at it. But yeah, I think Majora and Skyward Sword are the two that I don't like the most. And so Breath of the Wild came in like right after Skyward Sword by like a year or two. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be another shitty game. That's like, and again, not shitty, but like it felt like the way I felt for Mario games, where it was like they're just gonna shit out the same exact stuff. It's gonna be like, oh, this one's co-op, this one's like the background shifts a little bit, or you can turn it sideways, or some concept where the game does not fundamentally change in any real way, and it feels very samey and boring and safe. That's kind of how I felt about Luigi's Mansion 3. 1 was amazing. 2 was the same idea with a little bit of a different tweak on it. Not really a whole lot changed. 3 is literally just the same idea again, with no real major improvements. Oh, I can be Gooigi and make 2 of me. Okay, cool. That's still not really much of a fundamental change. Breath of the Wild was like, here's an open-ass map where you could go the fuck anywhere you want. Here's Dark Souls-style weapons that now you're not just using the same fucking sword for like the entire game. You can pick up anything and everything, like shovels, pitchforks, spears, flails, maces, magic staffs, anything you want. Anything that looks fun, pick it up, use it. You can literally chop down a tree to get a stick and use that to fight with if you want. The day that I picked that game up, I played it for 7 hours straight. And I was having a fucking ball the entire time. Because I was just trying everything and anything. I was just going wherever I wanted to go, doing whatever I wanted to do. Just climbing trees. Just doing random stuff just to see if the game would let me do it. And I was not finding many limitations. Like, there was not very many invisible walls preventing me from having a good time. And I was just, I was like, this is the best video game I've ever played. And I still think very, very highly of Breath of the Wild. And then Tears of the Kingdom just took that formula and, like, through the scope, like, they took the game, the map of Breath of the Wild, and they added 2 additional layers to that map. That's crazy. It still blows my mind. A lot of it is very samey, and there's a lot of open space that doesn't contain much of anything. But they did their damnedest to fill every fucking inch of all 3 layers. And that's insane. Especially given they did this in like a year. But yeah, this new game I figured would be like Link's Awakening remake and the previous game for the, I guess it was also the Switch, wasn't it? I don't remember. Point being is I did not have very high expectations. I was like, I'm gonna play as Zelda, and that's gonna be, I was like, it's gonna be a little weird. Turns out, it's a game changer. Because the concept they've added this time around is very interesting. And again, it's fun. I'm not gonna say anything else because I'm already heaping too much praise on top of Nintendo, which they don't deserve it. But I gotta hand it to Anuma and the guys and gals making Zelda games. They're doing great. They keep finding new ways to surprise me. Even though occasionally there'll be one that's not as exciting, they still find a way to make things very interesting. Which I cannot say about Game Freak. That's kind of another problem I have with Nintendo, is that I was not like the biggest fan of Pokemon, but I had a lot of nostalgia for the first game, at least. And I'm not gonna. I will say right now, I have not liked a Pokemon mainline game since X and Y, which felt like the first game in a long time that was actually good. Because Red, Blue, Yellow, and like Fire Red, Leaf Green, those games are just the first game. Literally just the very first Pokemon game in slightly different flavors. Because it's the same map, it's the same characters, the same bosses, just rehashed. I didn't play the next one, which was, what was that, Silver and Gold? I don't remember. But I didn't play that one. So I don't have any fond memories of that one. Diamond and Pearl I did play. I wasn't too overly impressed with it, but it was a pretty decent upgrade to the graphics. X and Y was like Diamond and Pearl Plus. So it was a little better. Still not amazingly amazing, but it was still pretty good. And then a lot of the other shit's a blur. Like, there was the Alolan game, whatever the fuck those ones were. Didn't care for it, didn't want to play with it, didn't look fun, just, I don't know, I guess the thing is, if it doesn't have my Charizard, I'm not interested. And I don't think the Alolan game had Charizard in it. I don't think. Maybe it did, and I'm just stupid. But it was like, it has to do something new in order for me to want to play it. Because Diamond and Pearl like took the 2D like very pixel graphics like this and enhanced it and made it look nicer. And I was like, yeah, that looks cool. That looks like fun. Battle graphics were slightly improved. The mods had like abilities instead of just the standard attacks for battling. But they've not improved on that formula since, in my opinion. Diamond and Pearl was the last time they ever really did anything to the formula. And I will not debate this. Because what they do now is they come up with a gimmick, like the Betamaxing or Gigamaxing or whatever the fuck they call it, Dino something. The embiggened, the creatures that are just big. It's like a raid boss. That was their new thing, their new gimmick. Arceus was, oh, you're going back in time where there's wooden steampunk Pokeballs and shit. Okay, cool, whatever, don't care. And then, what was the last one? Scarlet and Violet had like this derpy motorcycle Pokemon that you could get 2 different flavors of, and it looked really stupid. On top of, I heard that Scarlet and Violet sucked performance-wise. It was terrible. I saw videos of glitches for that game everywhere. And everybody universally agrees that that game, even today, I think still runs like ass. Maybe they've patched it and it's better. But I heard it sucks. And I'm not even gonna touch that shit. Because here's the thing. I don't care. I think the motorcycle Pokemon is dumb. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, bruh, just give the character a fucking motorcycle or something. You don't have to make every goddamn thing in the entire fucking video game a Pokemon. Which seems like what they were doing because they just had no other ideas. They're like, well, we want to give the player mobility so they can get around this new fucking awesome open world that we created. So we need some kind of a vehicle. I know, let's make the Pokemon into a vehicle. Or don't, because it's cringy and stupid, and it looks retarded as hell because there's a fucking lizard with wheels for a neck and butt, and another robo lizard thing with the same thing, and it looks dumb. It's stupid. I very strongly dislike that idea. And that's their main gimmick. That's the thing that's supposed to sell you on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, is that dumb ass motorcycle lizard thing. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't want anything to do with that. That's just stupid. But like it or not, that's what we have. That's what Pokemon is now. Is dumb, stupid little gimmicks that don't change the gameplay in any meaningful way. It's just, oh, now you're riding on a lizard that's a motorcycle. Fantastic. But, you know, no full 3D battles, no better character models, no, like, Pokemon bases, again, that are, like, cool and fun. No color changes besides just the shinies. So, like, no mutations. Like, there's so many things they could do to improve. You want to know what they could do to improve Pokemon? Take a look at Palworld. Palworld is a legit, actually good new Pokemon game. And that's why Nintendo is suing them. Because Nintendo is so pissed off that a company did better than them and made a better game. And they're fucking jealous. And they're suing because they're jealous. They don't actually have a real legitimate case. They're just being petty shitheads. Like, oh, the character designs, like, match perfectly. No, they don't. There was no evidence of any kind that the Palworld devs used any assets from Pokemon to make their own. Nothing. No evidence was found. Nintendo themselves are not suing Palworld for copyright infringement, which would be the Pokemon designs. They're suing over a patent, aka core functionality of the gameplay, how the game is played. That's what they're suing for. And that's not because the characters look the same. Which is what everyone thought Nintendo was going to sue them for. And it's just dumb. It's stupid. Their new Zelda game is basically Zelda meets Pokemon. They should fucking sue themselves for making their own game too similar to Pokemon. They should sue the Plucky Squire people for making a game that's both Zelda and Paper Mario. They should sue FromSoft for making a game that's like Breath of the Wild. They're just being shitheads. They're being pathetic little whiny baby bitches for having their precious Pokemon moneymaker franchise get defeated by a lowly indie dev. And that's why they're suing. Because they're jealous. And it's pathetic. And for the people who are diehard supporters, I'm gonna go ahead and fucking say it. I'm gonna say the name of a streamer who has tweeted against Palworld, who I have a fucking beef with. Ready? And I mean, don't go running to this dude to tell him, because I'm sure he'll fucking start tweeting shit at me, which I don't want, by the way. But you know what? Maybe I won't say who it is. Because this guy might be the kind of dude that's a dick that comes at me and starts tweeting shit at me because I mentioned him negatively on my stream and called him out for his bullshit. But this dude tweeted against Palworld, like, oh, they're obviously copying, they used AI, blah, blah, blah. No, they didn't. They fucking did not. I would say to this cat, dude, you got proof for your claims? And he would be dead silent, because no, he does not fucking have any proof. Nobody does. They're just, oh, it looks like Pokemon, they must have ripped them off. Oh. Make a informed accusation or keep your damn mouth shut. I don't feel like I should have to say that. If you say stupid shit on the internet, people are going to see the stupid shit that you said, and they're going to judge you. Especially if it's a thing that you can't, easily erase. The Wayback Machine keeps records of everything. So even if Dickhead deleted his tweets, we could still go back and look at them and see that he said those things and claimed that Palworld was using AI for their assets, which was not proven to be true. And even if they did, so what? Who fucking cares? Yeah, it sucks that they used art that was stolen from artists, but I mean, that's going to be an industry standard at some point, that most game developers are going to use some form of AI art. It's going to happen. That technology's out there and it's being used every day to generate art that developers are going to be like, is this, did you make this? Is this real? And the person's going to shake their head and say, or they're going to nod and they'll be like, yep, I made this. Yep, this is my product. I did this. This is not fake. This is not AI. And how are you going to know? How are you going to tell? You're not going to be able to. The average human cannot discern. I mean, some people they claim they have their eyes trained to spot AI fakery, and they're full of shit. It's like, bro, I am very art savvy, and I could not tell you the difference. I could look at an AI piece and a real piece, and I'd say that one's the fake, that one's the AI piece, and I'd be pointing to the one that's real. They're becoming very sophisticated with the fakery. It is becoming very difficult to tell the difference between them. So, this dude that made this claim is an idiot. I'm not gonna name him. I'm not gonna say who he is, but I will say that this cat owes me and the devs of Palworld an apology, because he was a shithead, and I will always hold that against him, because he made a misinformed accusation that actively harmed the developers, because this cat's pretty big. Maybe he's not a huge streamer, but he's a streamer that a lot of people know. And I don't particularly care for a game that I passionately followed through most of its development to the point of release, and was very excited for it to come out and enjoyed the shit out of it when it did come out. I don't appreciate those kinds of statements, especially when they're not true. Like, there was no evidence that these guys did anything wrong. If there's evidence, bring it forth. Show it. Show me that they did stuff. And those dudes that, like, put the models over top of Nintendo's for Pokemon, that's not proof. That's... maybe they used the model as a reference. But unless they have direct evidence of, hey, this file says Pikachu on it, and it's in the Palworld game files, there's no direct evidence. Everybody uses reference material these days. No one comes up with wholly new, completely original shit. We're too far along in human history for completely new stuff at this point. So, for them to say that they took straight from Pokemon, no, I call bullshit. I want to see the proof. Because I don't believe him. So, if Mr. Man comes up with some proof to back up his idiot claims, then I will openly apologize to him, and I will condemn the Palworld devs for doing a bad thing, and I will continue to play their game because I enjoy it still. But, yeah. Until I see evidence, I do not believe shithead claims. I will not believe them. He's going to have to do better than that. But I think I'm going to need to end the stream here, because I have rambled on until well past my, well, I guess not super far, but it is past my bedtime, so I gotta head out. But yeah, thank you for letting me vent, mostly. Because, yeah, I had a lot of shit to sling at people. Mostly my job company for closing our building and basically fucking me over. But, yeah. More streams in the future. Specifically Core Keeper and Payday 3. But also, I have Riven. I've not forgotten about it. I keep not streaming it. I know. I need to finish it. And I will. I will actually get to that, because that game deserves to be played through fully. It's just, like I said, I need to be in a mode to be playing. I need to want to play a VR game to do VR. Because that shit is kind of annoying to set up. It's not that bad. It's just, I also have to want to stand for a couple hours, and I don't often feel like I want to stand for a couple hours. So Could play it sitting down, but that's just not very fun. So, I promise we will get to Riven VR at some point. It will get finished. We will do it. We also continue with Core Keeper 1.0. We will continue with Payday 3 because there is a brand new heist that just came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago that I just didn't stream. And I will do that. But also, guys, we are on the verge of Spoop Month. And you know what that means. Spoops. I have a game. I will give you a little bit of a spoiler here. I have... Where is this thing? Oh man, I must not have it installed. Let's see. Homebody. There it is. Homebody from a game studio that I don't think Aaron and Dan of Game Grumps are directly involved with. But I think one of the guys that's like leading the game development of Homebody is on like maybe their filming crew or something. Like they were pitching it on Game Grumps quite a bit. And it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's supposedly it's kind of an allegory for OCD and how you deal with OCD. But it's a horror game, so it's perfect for Spook Month. So that's my big spook game this year that I have for Halloween. I will try to find some other spook games that are not like too overly gory and horrible, because those are not the kind of games I like. But yeah, I'll try to find something. I'm going to have to dig pretty deep because I have covered a lot of the really, really good stuff already. Like, we did Dead Space 2 and 1. 3 is not very good, from what I hear. We did Doom 3. I don't know that I did Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, but it really is more just Doom 3. It's not that different. Let's see. I do have, I have Devil May Cry 5. I have not played. That's kind of spoopy. Not really, but it's kind of in the theme. I think didn't we do Resident Evil 7 last year? That was like surprisingly good, actually. I don't have RE8. I do not have the Vampire Lady game. So I will not be able to stream that because I don't have it. I could buy it, but I'm not really... I think RE7 is good enough for me. I didn't love 7 that much. It was just okay. They're kind of doing the thing that Saw does, where they're leaning more into the gore, and it's not that good. I don't like the gore stuff. So, so yeah, I don't really have a lot for you guys this year, unfortunately. But like I said, I'll try to find something. Phasmo might have a sick update, so we might have to check that out. But anywho, thanks for watching Core Keeper part, was this 4 for the update 1.0. And again, as soon as Terraria's next update drops, I will be streaming that day one. I will start a brand new game and check out all the new content as I play. It'll be great. Looking forward to that immensely. Cult of the Lamb, we did some of the GOAT update, but like I'm at the end of the game, so there's not really a whole lot of new shit there. I was working on a cowboy fleece, but there's not really much else. I have RoboCop. I don't know if I streamed any of the RoboCop game, but I might do some of that maybe. That's just not a very. I'm trying to find some Ween games to play that are like spoopy, and I'm not finding a whole lot. So I'll have to, like I said, I'll have to dig deep on that. But anywho, again, I'm rambling too much. See you guys later. Thanks.